I was only 9 years old. I loved Shrek so much, I had all the merchandise and movies. I pray to Shrek every night before bed, thanking him for the life I've been given. Shrek is love, I say. Shrek is life. My dad hears me and calls me a faggot. I knew he was just jealous of my devotion for Shrek. I called him a cunt. He slaps me and sends me to go to sleep. I'm crying now, and my face hurts. I lay in bed and it's really cold. A warmth is moving towards me. I feel something touch me. It's Shrek. I'm so happy. He whispers in my ear, "This is my swamp." He grabs me with his powerful ogre hands and puts me on my hands and knees. I'm ready. I spread my ass cheeks for Shrek. He penetrates my butthole. It hurts so much, but I do it for Shrek. I can feel my butt tearing as my eyes start to water. I push against his force. I want to please Shrek. He roars a mighty roar as he fills my butt with his love. My dad walks in. Shrek looks him straight in the eye and says, "It's all ogre now." Shrek leaves through my window. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. It's the last day of school and I'm in my last class. I'm talking to my super cool teacher. I thank him for a Shrek-tastic year. He says, "It was charming to be with you." No, it can't be. I turn towards him. It's just as I suspected. It was Prince Charming this whole time. I lunge after him, trying to lodge onions in his pretty boy rectum, but it was no use. As I uncover his anus, Fairy Godmother emerges and puts a layer restriction spell on me. It's all ogre now. Just as I thought my last layer was being stripped from my soul, Shrek crashes through the ceiling. Yes! Without a moment's hesitation, Shrek grabs Charming by the dick, rips it off and strangles him with it. Fairy Godmother tried to fly away, but Shrek pulled out his onion zuka. Fairy Godmother burns to ashes. Shrek restores my layers and gives me an onion. I go home with a sore anus from his massive ogre-sized shaft. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. I was 13 years old. It was the first day of high school, and I was very nervous. I found my locker after the orientation, but it was surrounded by upperclassmen. I began to walk quickly to the nearest restroom, but noticed that I am being followed by the older Shrek students. "Well, it seems as though you're a little lost," says Drek number 1 as he walks towards me. I feel very intimidated. Shrek, please help me, I call out. But the Drek bullies laugh at me. Shrek, are you retarded, kid? Drek number 2 asks me. Suddenly, the scent of onions fills the room. The bullies are unaware of the Shrekening that is about to occur. Shrek is Drek, kid. I would fucking destroy Shrek, Drek number 2 scolds. As Drek number 3 laughs and calls me a baby. A strong, overpowering voice thunders throughout the entire restroom. Like that's ever going to happen. The door bursts open and it's Shrek. Shrek bursts out of the door and all of his clothing, exposing his Shreked penis. Smash Mouth's song, All Stars playing, turned up to 11. The force of the music is so strong that it shreds the skin of all the Drek bullies' faces straight off. Shrek grabs all 3 of them and mashes them together into one big ball, taking on the shape of a large onion. He tosses the Drek ball out of the window as the screaming of students can be heard from the outside. Shrek turns to me and I just can't resist anymore. I can't let him down. I collapse onto my hands and knees, offering myself to the Ogre Lord. His Shreked cock tears my mouth open as Shrek lets out a mighty ogre roar and fills me to the brim with his pungent onion love. My eyes are filled with tears, tears of joy, tears of serenity, as I pass out onto the bathroom floor. I awaken in the intensive care unit, covered in copious amounts of onion juice. I went on to graduate high school and receive a scholarship for a prestigious university. Thank you, Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. I never knew my real parents. I was told by my caretakers that before I was born, my father passed away after a lengthy battle with lung cancer. It was only a week before the day of my birth. My mother had an extremely difficult delivery, and she died only one day after my birth. Even though I never knew my parents, I miss them with all my heart. I never got to know their voices, their lullabies, their touch, or their love. I grew up in the supervision of a foster home with many other children my age. Sometimes they would pick on me and hurt my feelings. The caretakers would not offer much support as they seemed not to understand. The only comfort I found in my empty life was Shrek. His films brought joy to my day, and his merchandise brought material value to my life. On the day of my 12th birthday, I woke up, slipped on my Shrek 2 t-shirt, and walked downstairs. The other children gathered up to mock me as usual. They pointed fingers, mocking me for the fact that I had no friends outside of the orphanage to come to my birthday party. "You don't have any friends," began one of my bullies. "Other than Shrek, of course," the children
laughed. Even an idiot like you should know that Shrek is Drek. I didn't eat cake, play games, or laugh with my pals. I simply went upstairs to my room and wrote in my diary. May 18th, I wrote in the corner of the page. I've been surrounded by people all day, but I've never felt more alone. I put the pen down and closed the book. I took a deep breath and was surprised to find my lungs filling with the scent of onions. I heard a soft, fatherly voice from the window of my room. "You were never alone," said the voice. "Not now, not ever." I turned my head and spotted a looming green figure. Shrek, I whispered. "Is that you?" "Aye, it is. I'm here for your birthday, laddie." My heart rose, a smile crossed my face. "Really? Thank you, Shrek. This is the happiest day of my life," I told him, elated. "Come with me, your present's downstairs," he said. I hopped up, took Shrek's hand, and rushed down the stairs. The children all looked at Shrek and I as we entered the room. What could the present be, I wondered. I was so excited. Shrek winked at me before crouching down and putting out his arms beside him, like an airplane. He began a cold sprint towards the group of children and allowed his arms to clothesline every single one of them. I could hear the snapping of necks and the satisfying wheezes of the air being knocked out of the lungs of the children. Shrek smiled and picked up the surviving children by their hair until he had them all in his grasp. With his free hand, he unbuttoned his pants and let his thick, pungent cock spring into the crisp air. With one overhand swing, he impaled all of the children on his cock effortlessly. He fucked all of their corpses until he finished, with a torrent of steaming onion sauce. He tossed the children aside. No words were exchanged. My body, writhing with desire, seemed to read his mind. He looked me in the eye, and within an instant, I knew what I had to do. I gave in to my basic primal urges and lunged at Shrek's still Shreked dick. Grunting and leaning down, I exposed my pale cheeks to the ogre and let him fill me. Inch by inch I was claimed. I bit my lips and began to cry as pain, pleasure, and love consumed my soul. Soon Shrek filled my bowels with another flash flood of musky fluid. He slipped me off his penis and carried me to bed. I was exhausted, but satisfied. Shrek tucked me in, kissed my forehead, and headed for the window. "Wait, Shrek," I said. "Stay with me, please. I want you to be my daddy." Shrek chuckled and smiled. "I am your father, lady. For all who truly believe in Shrek are my children." Shrek winked before hopping out of the window into the crisp night air. I close my eyes as I think of my last thought before drifting to sleep. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
My life was not like a fairy tale, but rather a tragic spectacle. I was only 9 years old when my father hanged himself in our yard. I had no friends in the middle school. I was an outcast. And the relationship with my teachers didn't go along as well. I thought that a black streak in my life was over and everything would improve as the time goes on. But I was wrong. One day my mom became seriously ill, and she could not provide for me anymore.
The only light of hope in my life was Shrek, but in that moment he suddenly disappeared. The only chance of getting money for me was working at McDonald's. And everything was good until one customer asked for a big whack, but said to hold the onions. It was outrageous. I was so angry. I put onions in it anyway, spit in it for disrespecting Shrek. Customer sees me spit in his burger and complains to manager. I get fired on the spot. But this embarrassment was not enough for me. This guy grabbed me by the neck and said, "If I see you here one more time, I'm gonna put this onion up your ass." Worthless dweeb. Customers were looking at me like I'm some kind of freak. I could not stand for myself. They were pointing fingers at me, laughing at me. I was surrounded by people, but I never felt so alone. I sat on a bench near the restaurant for a few hours, thinking of why did they do all this to me? And why have Shrek abandoned me? Maybe I have grown too old for Shrek. Walking by the dirty streets of this grey city, I was immersed in a stream of crushing thoughts. When suddenly, some bastard drove nearby, splashing me with puddled water. I have had enough. I had nothing much to do other than to walk back home. When I came back to my temple of Shrek, I immediately started praying. I told him how much of the abuse I went through this day. Somewhere in the deep of the house, I've heard, "Don't you worry, all these problems, all these things will be over soon." His voice was so soft that I lost my consciousness. much time I was unconscious. I woke up near the TV with the remote in my hand. I've turned it on.
We are getting a police report on a double homicide. This night, they have found 2 mutilated corpses covered in the onion juice. Unfortunately, we can't share with you any more information regarding this topic. And now for the really important news. The bricklayer stole the bread from the grocery store.
Hello, we are sorry to tell you, but your mother has passed away a few minutes ago, and there was some green lubricant coming out of her pussy. Anyways, we will send you a paycheck via email. Have a good one.
They should have checked themselves before they Shrek'd themselves.
In one moment, all of my problems were over. When I heard lousy, horny breath behind my back, it was Shrek. When I saw my green master, all of my primitive instincts, my passive animal urges, awakened in me. The sound of his voice penetrated my ears. I closed my eyes and kissed him on his hot mouth. I felt my colon tearing apart, and it was so much pleasure. Shrek puts me on my knees and rudely sticks his horny Shrek testicle in my ass without any lubricant. Shrek did a mighty roar when he came all over me with his shivering green body juice. When it all was over, I told Shrek that I loved him, and I knew he would never give up his #1 fan.
I never give up those who truly believe in me.
Shrek jumps out of my window and flies on his way to the sunrise. All that I could think of that day was only Shrek is love. Shrek is... Shrek is love.